Hi, hello. Recently, I contribute to the Cucumber to Cucumber JS and make some change in the types. And then I was invited to the Cucumber community as a contributor, and I decided, okay, why not join? So I joined, and then so I'm getting a lot of message about the notification about the tickets from Cucumber. And this morning, I saw this one, this malware in dependency lib issue. So this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about it and how to remedy the issue that you might face. So without further ado, let's get started. So over here, so this is the issue, and for this particular case is about this ES5 ext library, and it's not necessary. I don't personally hold any thing about the library or about the issue. And also, I'm not going to go deep into that. It's related to politics and related to a war. And I'm definitely supportive or say respect the author, the owner of the package of what he's done, and he did that. However, what happened is this, what he did is now being flagged as a protestware, or in some antivirus is flagged as a malware, and it's blocked company from using it. So a lot of people are getting message from the security team inside the company say, hey, what's up with this? And what's up with this package, and it get blocked or it get deleted. So there is a long history about it. Again, I'm not going to go into it. And so what I'm going to talk about instead is how to remedy the situation. Right, so the issue is really this. So you can see that in this case, the Cucumber JS is rely on duration, rely on D, which rely on ext5 ext, ES5 ext. So what we can do, so let's first see the situation. So let me first reproduce it. So what happened is, well, actually, I really shouldn't say I reproduce it. So to see the issue, all I can do is Cucumber. So I install the package. Right, so it will just take a minute. So over here, I'm going to use npm, and I will cover both npm, pnpm, and yarn. And so you can see here, hold on a second, what's going on? Okay, yeah. So I just installed the pnpm, install the package. What? PNPM, what am I talking about? So in the PNPM, install Cucumber. So after I installed it, you can see down here, there is the ES5 ext package. And if you look at the version, is the latest is 0.10.62. So the issue of the problem is introduced in 0.10.52. Give me a second. Let me just double check. Let me verify that. 54. So 0.10.54. So what you can do for now is to use the feature that's already exists in all of those package manager to override the version. So what you, for npm and pnpm, what you can do is use overrides, and then in the overrides you say ES5ext. You can even specify the specific version, but I think I'm not going to do that for now. Well, no, actually 0.10.62, so you can play around with it and see which one works for you. So I'm going to change it to since it's 54, so what you can do is set this to 53. So the value over here, it can be a pinned version like this, or you can be set it with the typical sim range. You can greater than or equal to, although that's not what you want in this case. You can do tilde, you can do well, tilde. What's the different name? How do I name this? I don't know. So doing that. And so when you do that, then if you install again, right? So now, hold on a second. 652. Oh, I misspelled it. There you go. I think that will fix the issue. Yep, there you go. So now that package is updated, and if I do this ext5ext, so you can see that now we are using the 0.10.55 version. And before I get into the caveat or the limitation of this workaround, let me also go over PNPM, right? PNPM does the same thing. It supports the same property. So when you do this, and then you look at the file over here, you should able to see the same thing, I hope. Was missing. ext overrides. What's going on? Why it is not picking up? Let me see if I delete this. Something is wrong. Yeah, before this, before the start of the stream, I tried it. It was working. I don't know why this is failing at the moment. Let's see if I do the PNPM. So let me do a quick debug on this. If I do this, yeah, so that the override shows up. I don't know why that didn't work. The last time I tried it, it was working. So for a PNPM, if you do it like this, so set it back to 53 and install it. So now you will see that here it actually mentioned the override 0.10 from 53. And if you run ES5ext, you will also see that now it is using 0.10.53. So how about Yarn? Yarn was doing things a little bit differently, but is still similar. And so I can keep this over here first to show that how, well, that it, whether if it works or not. So if I run Yarn right now, so this create a yarn file, right? And yarn yex5 ext. And you will see that this is still using that version. That's not what we want. And the reason is yarn is using a different keyword called resolution. So if you do this, use resolution, now it is using 0.10.53. So that should solve your problem for the time being. And so now let's talk about the limitation of this, right? For there are a few cases that this wouldn't work or wouldn't, I think it wouldn't work out of the box completely, is if the dependency that you are installing want or use a version, specifically saying use a version after this. Say, for example, actually, before I say that, let me just confirm. So it goes to the D, right? It goes to the D over here in the dependency. Where's the dependency? So over here, so you can see that it is actually just saying use the 0.10.50, but it have the not tilde, what should this call, caret, using this sim range, so that when there's a newer version, when you install, it will just pick it up. And because of that, setting it back down to 0.10.53 is not a problem, right? Because anything above it is completely fine. But if the dependency is actually specifying something newer, say, for example, over here is specifying this, then will it work? I think the resolution, because over here, you can just set like what I have here, disregard of what is the version range, just use a different one, and that will quote unquote work. You're able to install it to get through it, but will the application actually works? That's a different question, right? Because there's likely a reason that the dependency want to use a newer version, right? It's specified in its dependency list, and say in this case I want to use the .60 version, and probably because there are some bug fix or some features that's been added. Say for example, it was a minor version bump, right? It's, say, for example, the version it wants is hypothetically is in 10.12, and you can force it to use 0.10, what, 10.12? No, 0.12, and you can force it to use 0.10. and it will install fine, but will it work fine? It might not, because when the dependency say want 0.12, likely is using some feature in 0.11 or 0.12. So if the code executes in the runtime and using those features, the code will fail, right? So that's number one. That's the one. Well, that is the main limitation of what we have, right? And so yeah, so that's the solution. That's the problem. And then of course another way, and a little bit more advanced way to get around that is because the if the package that has the subject package, let me put it this way, if the subject package is open source, right, and then what you can do is you can fork the repository, make a change, release either release it as your own, and then in the resolution point to your own version, right? So over here, instead of just saying a version, you can point it to a different package. And for the detail, you can go to the npm website, the Node.js website, to see how to do that. It's just basically something like this: set it to another thing, all right, another package. So you can do that. So that way will allow you to get over it for the time being. And again, this works if it is open source, right? And as a side note, if you don't want to publish it, you can also set this to a the Git link, right? Say, for example, GitHub. Say for myself, I can say I can create a fork and then make the change and then point it to my version, right? And so in this case, I think this will work too, but I haven't tried it out, and it's documented. You can take a look and see how to do it. But one thing you need to remember, if you're doing this because it's pulling from the GitHub directly, then that means you need to change the repository so that it includes the artifacts, or includes the bundle, or includes the distribution. So because a lot of times, say for myself, if the package is written in TypeScript, right, or the package JSON of the package is point to a transpiled version, even if you're writing in JavaScript, right, you can in the package JSON, you can point to a bundle that you use, bundle using Webpack or Rollup or any bundler, right? So in that case, if you just fork it, just make the change in the source code, it won't work, right? Because in the GitHub, those files doesn't exist. So you would need to build it and also include those files in the repository, right, in the source code, commit it, push it up before you can actually use it this way. So that's it. That's the thing I want to share. Hope you find this useful, and hope you like this video. And as always, if you like the video, you know what to do, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.